Welcome to the Fulfilled After 50 podcast. We are your hosts, Alice
and Carol. Join us each week for your fun dose of inspiration and healthy tips you can use every day so you can live the healthy and fulfilled life you desire and deserve.
Welcome, everybody, to Fulfilled After 50 podcast. Today, we're going to talk to you about 7 ways to manage your time, okay? Because we hear so many people saying, I don't have time to do that.
Right.
Well, that's really an excuse because we have the same 24 hours as Thomas Jefferson had, Albert Einstein.
Right, all those smarties. And the great thing is that these work for your personal life.
Yeah.
It works for business. It works for everything you got going on
in
that 24 hours.
Yes. So we always want to work smarter, not harder, right?
Right, which always sounds good, but how do you really make that happen?
I know. So the first tip is, if you have never read the book, it's by Brian Tracy and it's called Eat the Frog.
Eat that frog. It's a great book. It's been around for a while, but it is time tested.
Yeah. So what that means is you write down your to-do list, but you're going to tackle your top 2 or 3 hardest tasks of the day. So you're going to get those 2 out of the way first.
Correct. That's that frog you're eating.
Is it
right?
good?
Oh, that's why you got to get that done with.
That's right. So
right, because the great thing is once you get those done first thing in the morning, it gives you momentum to really make the most of your rest of your day, and you're not procrastinating getting those big things done because they're going to be a little bit more time consuming, or maybe they're more difficult, or they're more challenging.
Right.
You're going to get them done.
And if that's the only thing that you get done, then you feel like you have accomplished something because you've gotten those 2 hardest things done first of the day.
Right. And of course, those things are usually related to your biggest goals that you want to accomplish. So if you're accomplishing that every single day, before you know it, you'll be working your way all the way to an attained goal.
Right. So the second one is, we talk about this a lot, is sleep your 7 to 8 hours a night. And I think a lot of people think, well, if I stay up longer, then I'll get more done. I'll be more productive.
Right.
That's not the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you end up with this bit of mental fog.
Yep.
You're just not as clear.
Crisp. Yeah.
Right. It makes it so that you're not as able. Now, it is really hard, I think, I can usually get 7. 8 is kind of hard for me. I really have to make myself, I literally have to go upstairs, get ready for bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, because you're up so early.
Right.
So, right. Yeah.
And you are too, but you tend to get, what's your average?
8.
8. Okay, my average is 7 if you look at my Fitbit.
Yeah, I do really, really try, and that is, I'm going to bed at 9:30. I'm up no later than 5:30. I try to really get up out at 5 o'clock just so I can get all my self-development done first.
And that's why she has less bags under her eyes.
That is not true. That is not true. So that's going to bring us to our third point. And you want to devote your focus to one thing at a time. So that's going to mean shut down whatever 10 browsers you got going on. Shut off your phone or put it on vibrate, and then just focus on one task at hand.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is really hard to do as well. But think about it. If you're at work, or even if you're at home and you're working on something and you have your email open and you just keep seeing these notifications come up, or Facebook, it's very distracting.
Yes.
And your mind then is off of what you're supposed to be working on. And it takes you that much longer to get back to it and to get back to that level of concentration.
Yes. Yeah. So that leads us to point 4 is block scheduling. Guys, the most successful people block schedule. And there's a reason for that. It's because when you have a big list, overwhelm already sets and you shut down. But if you start out with your schedule, Carol talked about it like last week in our group that we have, about how she just really, really constructs her day. It was really good. Thanks. Like, if you guys are not in our private Facebook group, like, Carol gave amazing tips on how she organizes her day. And it's all about block scheduling. So you block off 30 minutes. Or if you're going to go work out, then block off that hour. It's a continuous thing. If you have like a full-time job, then block out that time and then fill in your increments that you have. Instead of sitting there, you're wasted 30 minutes thinking, and then you say, well, I just don't have enough time. Well, that's because really, like, you've really wasted 30 minutes of good time because your thoughts aren't.
That's right. Plus, when you say I can't, like, let's say you do have that full-time job, and we can relate to that, and certain days we're really slammed with things at work. So if you say I can't, what you're really telling yourself is I won't. Because we do have a choice.
Right.
And then it's a matter of just prioritizing and working your day. Maybe you have to get up earlier, which means you may have to go to bed earlier. And so it is one of those things that's a choice.
Right. So our tip number 5 is do not think of your totality of your to-do list. Meaning, like, if you have 10 things on a list,
or
do not
25
or 25. I maybe have 10. So
I like to list them all so I can cross them off. I think it's an illness. It's really like an OC thing. I don't know.
So don't think of that over list, because most of us, when you look at that, like, overwhelm is going to set in immediately. So you just start taking one thing at a time. But as we said in that first tip, is you take those 2 biggest ones at the top and do those first. And then it becomes, less and less as you go down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I talked a bit about Sunday prep. You do meal prep on Sundays for a lot of times for the group, and your work, your prep for your week in terms of your productivity is just as important. And so a lot of times you may have this really big list, but what I tend to do is I'll take that list and I'll prioritize it by how it can be split up throughout the week, so that I don't end up setting myself up for failure to have to keep moving it from one day to the next, which does happen. It's just a reality.
Exactly.
But that's a way to help conquer that.
Yes. So our 6th tip is exercise and eat healthy. We always are focusing on it, and this leads right behind the sleep also. So as we are exercising, it is getting our bodies pumping, our blood pumping. You're able to think clearer. When you're eating healthier and filling your body with that nutritious food, it's feeding those brain cells, so you're able to think clearer, but you have more energy to endure the day and endure your tasks at hand.
Right. And it's not just, it truly is healthy eating and what it is that you're eating.
Right.
Because I think probably everyone can relate to the fact that there's certain foods that you eat that tend to put you to sleep. It makes you just drop. It's your blood sugar. It's a reaction. You eat these things that are higher in sugar, higher in carbohydrates, and it makes your blood sugar go whoop. Then this insulin kicks in, then it drops down, and that's when you get all sleepy, you just want to take a nap, you just feel blah.
Exactly.
And your GI tract feels worse. So why do that to yourself? Yeah. Once you get used to eating better, and none of us are perfect, but once you get used to that, it feels so good. You really don't want to go the other direction. And when you do, you tend to kind of even pay for it more.
Right. Yeah. So our last tip, number 7, is eliminate the non-essentials, meaning just think of the most significant thing that needs to be done and eliminate the rest that really don't deserve your time right now. So again, that just creates a little overwhelm, some anxiety when we look at the whole big picture, when you can eliminate your non-essentials that don't need to be done right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really very helpful, because we end up with a lot of minutia in our life, and as women, we're doing a lot of things that sometimes just because it's a habit of ours, it's not even really necessary, nor is it helpful.
Right.
So really taking a close look at that and eliminating those things will really help free up that time then. Because a lot of the non-essential things might be, binge watching a series. I mean, I know we all want to sometimes let our mind just, like at night, you're like, I just need to do something that is not going to have to require my brain power. But but really, if you get sort of it's easy to get addicted to that, and then before you know it, count up the number of hours during the week you spent binge watching.
Exactly.
So
yes, so that's our 7 tips. So we hope that helps you time manage, because we all have the exact same 24 hours. It's not like this person has 25 hours, an extra hour. We all have the same 24-hour period. It's just, how do you use it?
That's right. So we hope you enjoyed this. And actually, if you're listening to this next week, we're actually going to touch on how to keep your mind sharp. Which overlaps a little bit, but it's really some really helpful hints so that we all know and realize how to preserve our brain and to understand that we're not losing our brain.
All right, guys. So we're glad you hopped on. And remember to come over to our private Facebook group, Fulfilled After 50.
That's right. And if you're not a subscriber to the podcast, please download it and subscribe. Listen to us every single week.
Yes.
Our podcasts come out, so you want to make sure that you're on board with that. And if you want some one-on-one services or to see what is we even have to offer, actually it's not one-on-one, it's 2-to-1.
Even better.
Yeah, go to fulfilledafter50.com and it's all there for you.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
All right, take care.
Bye.